She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episode number 7. There was a fight in this one too, so there was action. This show seems to be giving us more information than excitement. It seems to be building up for other stuff. Also, like I said a long time ago, I think they're using this as a platform to broaden the Marvel Universe, to let you know that there's more people out there. In this episode, she has to go check on Blonsky because something happened with his ankle bracelet, and I think there's more to that. So she goes to check up on Blonsky, and when she goes there, it turns out it's nothing, and at least it appears to be nothing. But she meets people who are on his property, people who he's helping. Quote, see the quote fingers? Who he's helping. Thunderball is there. And he kind of apologizes for attacking her, but he claims it was a different thing than actually what it was. He didn't claim that, oh yeah, I was trying to get your blood for the boss. He just says, I'm sorry for attacking you. We had these superpowers, so we thought we should attack a superhero. That's not really what happened. So clearly he was lying. El Aguilar is there, which means the Eagle. He's a Marvel superhero, kind of based off of Zorro. He has a bioelectric charge that he sends through his sword. He's not super. He's just mildly super. Saracen is there. He's played by an African-American dude, but he's supposed to be, I think, like Armenian or something like that. But in here, they said that he's a vampire. As far as I know, he was just a dude that fought the Punisher. I have to research, I have to look it up, because maybe he did get turned into a vampire. I thought it was a dude that fought the Punisher and then got shot, because Punisher shoots people. So he's another villain. Then they had the Porcupine there, and he's a villain. He was in full uniform and everything, didn't want to take his uniform off. Kind of comic book accurate. He kind of looked like the comic book version, but he was there, and he's an enemy of like Spider-Man and Captain America and people like that. So it was basically a room full of villains and one hero. And Blonsky, who's the Abomination. They got that thing on his ankle that takes away his power, but is he supposed to just wear that forever? Is that just like forever? Now that's his thing? He has to wear that ankle bracelet? That seems harsh. Forever? Because he's not supposed to turn into the Abomination again. I wonder about that. Also, so on this episode, she's there. She ends up with those guys. She ends up doing a meeting with them where they all confess their sins and they talk about, how to get better. And she tells them about, dating a guy, the guy from the previous episode, Josh, and how he wouldn't call her back after they've had a couple of dates, and then they had an adult date. So now he won't call her back after that. And I thought last episode, and as soon as it happened, I thought the same thing, that Josh is no good, that Josh is, you know what I mean? And turns out that he was. He was just there trying to get her information. This has got to be a buildup, because they're doing the intelligentsia, they're doing the leader, and they're taking her blood, which Bruce has already said can be used to make other Hulks. I think this whole thing is a buildup for the Red Hulk. Red Hulk's going to be in the Thunderbolts, and Abomination's going to be in the Thunderbolts. And now you've got a team that could potentially beat the brakes off the Avengers or anybody else they sick them after. You got the Abomination, you got the Red Hulk, which is basically he's a stronger version of the Hulk, but the Hulk's strength keeps growing. So the Hulk eventually gets stronger than him, but he starts out stronger than the Hulk. So he's a stronger, meaner version of the Hulk, but he's also a soldier. So he's got military training. Then they got all the rest of those guys that are going to be in the Thunderbolts. And now you got a team, because they're looking kind of weak right now. You know, just looking at them, they're looking kind of weakish. But somebody like the Red Hulk and the Abomination added to the team, now you got yourself some players. So I think that that's what this whole buildup is, to introduce the intelligentsia, which is going to lead right into Captain America: New World Order. And I think this is just a buildup. I think they're using some of these TV shows just to build up for the movies, and that's what this looks like to me. Also, this, she meets him, right? They date, they have their adult time, and then he takes off on her and he turns out to be a bad guy. That reminded me of this girl named Rita, who is Namor's cousin. That happened to her when she was in a group called the New Warriors. She got a little tipsy. She was like Namor. She's, you know, a mer person. She got a little tipsy. She meets a dude. She digs him. She goes out with him. They go back to her place for some adult times, and he leaves her. And then later, it's known that he's got pictures of her, and he's watching her from his binoculars from across the street while she's taking a shower. It's creepy dude. And it reminded me of that. When I saw that, it took me straight to that. I've been collecting comic books forever, and everything that happens in regular life brings me back to a comic book. I read so many books. There's a lot of stuff that's happened. Brings me to a comic book. That took me to a comic book, and that may be where they got the inspiration. But either way, I kind of dug this episode just for the information and the special guest stars, not so much for the action, because the fight that they had was minimal. So I kind of dug that. I dug it enough that I would give this episode, not the entire season, but this episode, 7 bags of popcorn. 7 bags of popcorn. It doesn't really bring it for me, but it's still kind of good. 7, not a 5. 5 would be in the middle. Not a 6. 6 is a little above the middle. It's 7. 7's above the middle. So that's what I think. More importantly, what do you think? Not just seen a video? Let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.